And so the KBP is of the position that if the reason for canceling the broadcast is because of political speech, which probably might have offended some parties, this should not be a valid ground for the cancellation of a legislative franchise. By the way, Honorable Chairperson, ganun ang position ng KBP lalo na sa political speech, walang fake news. Yung tinatawag na fake news ngayon, dati na propaganda ang tawag doon. Disinformation, misinformation is part and parcel of political speech and should be protected. Because otherwise, if dissent is not allowed, what is the purpose of the protection of the freedom of expression? We thank the Honorable Chairperson and the committee members, the members of the Committee on Public Information and Mass Media for this opportunity for KBP to express its position and sentiments with regards to circumstances prevailing that affect mass media, particularly in the case of the proceedings to cancel the franchise of Suarasug Media Corporation. For the information of the Honorable Committee, Suarasug Media Corporation is not a member of the KBP. However, the matters affecting Suarasug Media Corporation affects the whole broadcast industry. And in fact, the proceeding to cancel its franchise is a historical precedent in broadcast media. It is the first time that Congress has taken an action to revoke the franchise of a broadcast company. By the way, Mr. Chairperson, it is important to note that the Philippines is probably the only country where a legislative franchise is required for broadcast media. I have tried to research all other jurisdictions and it appears that it is only the Philippines. This is probably because we hazard to opine that this is probably because broadcast media is considered a public utility in the Philippines. But it has now been classified as a public service with the passage of the Public Service Act. And so probably Congress might want to revisit the power to grant legislative franchise. As stated by the prior speakers, the freedom of expression of the press and media are so important. They are cornerstones of democracy. And even in the legislative franchise, these are protected rights. It is important to note that even the legislative franchise issued by Congress requires that no prior restraint should be exercised or no censorship should be exercised in the broadcast. And it is only required that the broadcast is cut off after the fact. Also, it is the position of KBP that political speech should be granted the highest respect. There are different kinds of expression: political expression, commercial expression, expression of the art. But political speech has been always considered the highest form of freedom of expression. And so the KBP is of the position that if the reason for canceling the broadcast is because of political speech, which probably might have offended some parties, this should not be a valid ground for the cancellation of a legislative franchise. By the way, Honorable Chairperson, ganun ang position ng KBP lalo na sa political speech, walang fake news. Yung tinatawag na fake news ngayon, dati na propaganda ang tawag doon. Disinformation, misinformation is part and parcel of political speech and should be protected. Because otherwise, if dissent is not allowed, what is the purpose of the protection of the freedom of expression? This was enunciated in the case of Chavez versus Comelec when they said that the highest protection should be given to dissent, to those that don't conform, those that bring different ideas. This should be the protected expressions. And so, Honorable Chairperson, the KBP is thankful that it has the opportunity to express one of its mission, that is the protection of freedom of expression and of the press. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney. Napakalinaw po ng inyong pagpapaliwanag. Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Miss Lydia Bueno, ang presidente po ng National Press Club. Ma'am, atin po uling kikilalanin si Miss Lydia Bueno ng National Press Club. Ma'am?
Yes po, to the Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, and to all who are in this hall, good afternoon na po. Thank you for the opportunity to air our views from the National Press Club of the Philippines regarding the press freedom in the Philippines and its possible consequences. The National Press Club of the Philippines, this is the oldest and the biggest media organization in the country, has witnessed the exercise of press freedom in the country in its more than 7 decades of existence po. Nasa 72 years na po ang National Press Club. It has managed to resist the storms in all sorts of trials and threats to press freedom. To this day, the National Press Club stands as one of the symbols of the country's free and working democracy. With the proliferation of the content creators or the so-called bloggers or bloggers in various social media platforms, the National Press Club imposed stricter policy in the acceptance of its members. These bloggers and vloggers can become members of the NPC only if they belong or part of legitimate online media websites. So these bloggers and vloggers have given a new meaning to the press freedom and the practice of journalism in the country. They make the public believe that they are part of the mainstream media by creating and delivering their messages to the public through various media platforms without the benefit of being subjected to rigorous editing and or editorial control. In short, they were not accountable to anyone, not even to themselves. Most of them were encouraged to post because online platforms were paying them good money, which traditional media owners could not match. The most unfortunate part is that they could post everything and anything under the sun, which often result in confusion and misinformation among the public. Indeed, these so-called content creators have been redefining the rules and boundaries of journalism and the meaning of press freedom, with many of them not trained on traditional mode of reporting. They could not care less about journalism code of ethics. So it is therefore the responsibility at the National Press Club to keep that flame of truth, accuracy, justice, and fairness that define true journalism and press freedom alive and burning. There's nothing wrong with being a content creator or social media practitioner. However, it is our duty to impart to them that they have responsibilities and duties that must be observed. Those who enter the media industry must adhere to the codes of journalists live by, such as accuracy, truthfulness, and fairness. So as to the consequences, aware and knowledgeable of the freedom of expression and of the press that has been freely exercised in the country, experience mainstream media, avoid going beyond the boundaries and limitations in the profession. They know for a fact that doing this will result to cases relating to ordinary libel. We also have these cyber libel laws, the violation of the violence against women and children, the anti-terrorism law, and the national security law, among others. NPC members are kept informed of their duties and responsibilities in the exercise of their profession and warned the possibilities of facing such charges if found to be abusive of the freedom given to them by the Constitution. The 1987 Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, Article 3, Section 4, states that no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, and of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. So our recommendations are: there must be a specific law enforcing stricter penalties for bloggers and vloggers who abused their freedom under the Constitution, or the existing laws providing limitations to press freedom be amended or strengthened to contain abuses of press freedom. That's all, Senator Padilla.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Lydia Bueno ng National Press Club. Mamaya po, may mga tanong din po kami. Opo. Susunod naman po natin si Attorney Anthony A. Abad. Prof, kanina po, pinag-uusapan pa rin namin kung gaano kahalaga ang freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Ito po bang mga kalayaan na ito ay kapag napangalagaan, ito po ba ay nakatutulong sa ekonomiya? At kung ito naman po ba ay iyong sinakal, ito po ba ay nakakaapektong negatibo sa ekonomiya?
Una-una, maraming pong salamat, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy that you invited me again to your hearing. I was a little puzzled na dito ako sa press freedom. And I'm to clarify, I'm not representing anybody related to the SMNI case. I'm here purely as an academic. I do not also represent Ateneo de Manila, my home university. These are my own personal opinions. But I'm also, I'm also a former broadcast person. I used to be with Bloomberg Philippines, no, until they terminated the license. No, I used to be a host of a program. So I'm also conscious or aware of the importance of the freedom space that should be given to journalism and media. No? Ngayon, ang tanong nyo po, yung mga freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution, under the Bill of Rights, no? How important are they? And dahil economics professor rin ako, I have to make this link, no, na nakaano rin dyan sa economic development. No? So una-una, what is a constitution for? Yung, going back to the basics, constitution una-una ay nagtatayo ng isang pamahalaan that is supposed to be set up by the people. Kaya by the people and for the people. But there is also, in the evolution of constitutions, the portion of the constitution which guarantees certain basic rights to the citizens of that society that puts up that constitution in order to make everyone work well together. So it creates a zone of peace and stability. That way, if we go to the basic right of individual liberty or the theory of individual liberty, everyone is guaranteed the right to behave and do what they want. Yung may freedom of individual creativity, freedom of profession, freedom of labor, etc. You should be able to do what you want. Ang caveat dun is that you can do what you want but do no harm to others. So the Constitution is supposed to guarantee that there is that working relationship or that harmonious relationship in society. That's why you have all of these basic rights. The moment mawala yung isang right, isang freedom of say yung separation of church and state, yung ito freedom of the press, no? Then it makes the citizen insecure. Kailangan secure ang ang mamamayan eh. That every day you can go by and do your whatever it is you do, na wala kang takot. You should be able to live in that manner. So that's why tayo po, Senator, that's why we want to review our Constitution, because we want to make sure that the Constitution is true to its mandate and its preamble to protect the people. Ngayon, on this topic, itong freedom of expression, yes, it's very important na magarantiya ang freedom of expression. In fact, it is the way that the citizens in a society can work best together if you are allowed to give your opinion without fear that you will be punished or that you will be suppressed for expressing your opinion. That's why the Constitution puts certain limits on both the state while imposing duties on the citizen. So, una-una, responsibility of the state or limits on the state power. Dahil galing tayo sa mga galing tayo sa mga absolute monarchy, dictatorships, where there was no such thing as freedom of expression. Only what the king or the emperor wanted is what would happen. But eventually we evolved into more democratic society, and democracy is based on this ability to say what you want without fear of the state or the kingdom punishing you or suppressing you. And that's the basic that basic premise is how you begin your harmonious relationship within society. Ngayon, meron rin mga duties ang citizen, ang mamamayan. Or, well, including private corporations and mass media operators. In fact, for mass media, you have a high level of responsibility because you are sharing information through a technology-driven means, no? Dahil may technology ka, you have this high responsibility to make sure that the content of your broadcast, of your news, is truthful and accurate, no? And fair. So again, you also cannot use the content of your news against people, or there is what they call the threshold, no? When your words or your content will cause harm to others. So itong balance na to, ito ang importante sa isang society, no? Katulad ng Pilipinas, and the Constitution should guarantee this. That's why yung yung religion, no? We should be able to convert from one religion to another, express our own beliefs without fear that other religions will come after us, or the state on behalf of another religion will come after us. So yan ang standard po natin is that we should always be able to go from one place to another within the Philippines and do what we want to do within the Philippines without fear. If we can do that without fear, we can express ourselves, we can know without fear. But at the same time, also not doing harm to others. No? If we can do all that, then you've achieved already what is the most important in society. And pag wala yung security at peace, wala rin tayong economy. Kasi walang mag-i-invest dito. That's why first thing is we want to remove all of these restrictions to investment. Then you want to make sure that the Philippines is a place that is safe for anybody to invest in, anybody to work or to do what they want to do. That's the Senator. So, well, if we go to review our Supreme Court cases, to look at these basic freedoms, always remember it's a matter of balancing between the state responsibility to take care of the people, but at the same time to prevent abuse at also to guarantee na may responsibility ang mga mamamayan to each other. So rule of law is very important. If you do anything harmful to another Filipino, you should be punished for it also. But for this case, I have since I'm not privy to this case, I cannot also comment on it properly. All I can say is that in both for the state and for the mass media operator, always guarantee due process. And then we have standards of due process already in our jurisprudence, no? So pwede rin nating pag-aralan yan in doing that. So what's important is it's always open. You are given the right to counsel and to appear and to propound your rebuttal to any statement that is made from one side against another. So basta meron rin yung due process space, importante rin yun. And finally, Senator, Mr. Chairman, I think this might be an opportunity for you to review maybe our legislation, our regulatory framework for mass media and press and journalism. No? Ang problema ngayon is due to technological advancement, as was pointed out, no, ma'am, na it's very easy for people to put out their thoughts and opinions now. Very easy dahil sa social media. You don't want to impose on social media. The state should not be intervening in social media in a way that it prevents people from expressing themselves. But at the same time, may responsibility rin eh. Yung problema nga yung katotohanan. What is true? No? Diba lahat tayo naman guilty sa Instagram of not being exactly truthful. No? We always put out our best photos, diba? Our best ano. So in a way, parang may, what we see in social media is always people's best foot forward. So we have to be cognizant of that. And when we craft our laws, our new laws and regulations for freedom of expression, for mass media, for everything, no, literature, advertising, lahat yan may creativity, content, may expression. And there's always a danger that there's falsehoods or maybe something harmful that will be put in that content. So we have to be very careful. I think it is important that we do review content, but also at the same time we have to be careful about how we review. Kasi hindi tayo gusto natin, we don't want to go back to the days of let's say sa US colonial government. Ang problema sa constitution natin, actually it's evolved from the US colonial structure. And remember, US colonial government is not the same as the US government. It had to make sure that there was no dissent and that there was no opposition coming from the Filipinos at that time. No? So you have to also review your constitution and make sure that there are no more vestiges of that yung panahon na yon na yung colonial na na sistema. But anyway, we can discuss that siguro sa natin mga review ng constitution. But that's my take for now on the freedoms of press, etc. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Bakit kaya mainit ang dugo nila dyan sa SMNI, no? Pero sa akin, baka takot sila dyan sa mga pinapalabas ng SMNI. Yung pagbibisto sa mga ginagawa nila. Kung hindi naman totoo, may ibang paraan naman. Talagang gusto nilang ipasara. Ito. Pumalag po si KBP Commissioner na yung pagpapasara ng mga congressman pala dyan sa Kongreso. Hindi talaga nila tinitigilan. Nakalain mo ba naman yung SMNI? Yung mga pinapalabas nila, ibang-iba sa ibang media. Ang daming doon pa lang sa diyan pa lang sa rally. Ang daming tao niyan. Pero sa ibang media hindi pinapalabas. Oo, wala, hindi pinapalabas. Pero diyan pinapalabas kahit galit na galit, may galit, yung galit ng taong bayan ay makikita natin diyan. May mga pasabog diyan na mga ginagawa ng nasa gobyerno na hindi maganda. Dapat talagang malaman din ng taong bayan yan. Hindi yung puro magandang balita lang. At sa SMNI naman, hindi naman puro kontra naman. Meron namang magandang binabalita dyan. Halata masyado tong mga to. Marami yata sila dyan sa Kongreso na takot na kulitin sila ng SMNI. Oo, makulit kasi yung SMNI, no? Nakukulitan tong mga to. Wow, kaya pilit nilang ipasara. Ay, ipasara. Kung hindi sumunod sa patakaran yung SMNI, mabilis mapasara yan kagaya ng ABS-CBN. O di ba may mga nilabag. Pinasara. Tapos, SMNI, hirap na hirap kayo, no? Hanapan ng butas. Istoryahin itong mga congressman na to. Kaya nung masasabi niyo po dito sa pinagagawa ng mga congressman dito sa SMNI, comment down below. Hanggang dito lang. Thank you. Bye-bye.